Leon arrived at the worst moment in Meri and Cody's marriage. Cody was smiling for the cameras at the hospital, but Meri says he hardly touched the baby, never assisted with feedings, missed doctor visits, and that space just increased as Leon grew up. He missed birthdays, he missed school functions. Even when Leon was hospitalized, Meri says Cody would not show up. It was more than absence. It was silence where there should have been love. Meri says she remained silent for years, attempting to maintain harmony within the family. She worked hard at her bed and breakfast, through side ventures, all while raising Leon alone. Meanwhile, she saw Cody invest time and money in Robyn's home. When she finally called him out on it, she says Cody dismissed it. He said to stop being so dramatic, Meri explained, that Leon had it all because they had me. But what about having a father? Don't they deserve that too? Her voice cracked, remembering the night it all changed. Leon was very sick, and in the hospital. Meri reports that she called Cody over and over again. Leon was calling for him, begging for him. He never showed up. Instead, Cody allegedly stayed home, with Robyn. For Meri, that was the breaking point. Something inside of her cracked. Later, in an intense confrontation, captured on camera for the new season of Sister Wives, Meri turned to Cody. Her words trembled with anger and heartache. "You have left our child behind," she said. "You don't show up. You don't call. You don't care. How are you able to stand there and act like a good father?" Cody fired back. "You've always pushed me away," he said, trying to shift blame. "You're difficult. This isn't all on me." But Meri stood firm. "This isn't about me," she said. "This is about Leon. They deserve better." Sometimes the hardest truth is the one you've carried the longest. Christine didn't hesitate to weigh in. "She's right," she said of Meri. "I saw it too. Cody was never there for Leon. Meri did it all by herself." Janelle was more cautious, but agreed. "Cody was stretched thin," she admitted. "But Meri's not wrong. Every child deserves both parents present," and Robyn, as expected, she defended Cody. "He loves all his kids," she said. "He's just misunderstood sometimes." But most eloquent was the voice of Leon themselves. They've remained pretty much in the background, until now. In a sincere social media message, Leon substantiated much of what had been stated by Meri. "I love my dad," they posted. "But true or not, he was never really there. My mum was my rock. I wish he had been more present, but I've learned not to hope anymore." When a child finally speaks, no one forgets what was said. The post went viral. Fans flooded the comments with messages of support for Leon and Meri. Hashtags like #JusticeForLeon and #TeamMeri trended across platforms. "Neglecting a child is never okay," one fan wrote. "Meri deserved better. Leon deserved better." Another added, "We've watched Cody play favorites for years. Now it's clear just how deep the damage went." As pressure mounted, Cody attempted damage control. In a televised interview, he tried to defend himself. "I love all my children," he said. "I've made mistakes, but I've done my best." He blamed a complicated relationship with Meri, and stopped short of apologizing to Leon. "I'll reach out when the time is right," he said vaguely. But for many, the time for excuses has long since passed. Meri's not waiting any longer. She's weighing legal action to compel Cody to take responsibility, perhaps in the form of past child support and a public admission of neglect. "I'm not doing this for me," she told us. "I'm doing it for my child. They deserve everything I can fight for." Meanwhile, sources indicate Leon is continuing to deal with the anguish of feeling unwanted. "It's tough," they said in a video. "I look at how he is with Robyn's children, hugging them, laughing, and I think, why did he not do that for me?" Supportive fans and loved ones continue to support Leon, labeling them brave and strong. One wrote, "Don't let his absence determine your value. The most painful wounds aren't necessarily seen, but they're felt, daily." Meri's story is more than just another Sister Wives chapter. It's a lesson, a painful one, about what happens when love is uneven, when responsibility is avoided, and when one parent is left to carry it all. Yet even now, Meri hasn't shut the door completely. If Cody truly wants to make amends, if he's willing to show up for Leon, not just talk about it, there's a sliver of hope. But he needs to prove it. Meri spoke softly. Leon needs to see it for themselves. But if anything is going to change, it has to begin with Cody. Whether he's going to make that step or not, that remains to be seen. Meanwhile, Meri is busy with her life, with her bed and breakfast, and supporting Leon in every way possible. She's been doing more traveling, posting positive, encouraging messages on social media, and gradually uncovering the pieces of herself that were lost for so long. Leon, on the other hand, is said to have started therapy to heal from years of rejection and mourning. They're also seeking a new direction, one out of the limelight, and maybe towards something more honest and redemptive. And what about Cody? He's still residing with Robyn and her kids, but it's not the poster family he had said it would be. He's experiencing growing criticism from fans and strained relationships with most of his older children. The warmth around him has dissipated. The backlash is catching up. Sometimes silence ignites when truth finally speaks. In a recent livestream, Meri poured out her heart to her followers. She didn't mince words. She don't ever let anyone make you feel like you, or your child, don't matter, she said. Stand up, speak out, fight for what's right. I wish I had done it sooner, but I'm doing it now. Those words landed like thunder. Comments poured in from parents, especially mothers, who knew exactly what Meri meant. The ones who fought silent battles for their kids, hoping someone would notice, hoping they weren't alone. Meri's courage isn't just about her or Leon. It's for every parent who's ever had to go it alone, who stayed too long hoping things would change, who finally chose strength over silence. This wasn't a feud. It was a reckoning. At the same time, there was another storm on the horizon, and this one did not come courtesy of Meri, but Christine. In a moment that shockingly rocked the sister wives' world, Christine Brown, once the bright sunshine in the Brown family, set her sights firmly on Cody and delivered the words she'd kept bottled up for over a decade. I hate you. It wasn't bellowed with anger. It wasn't screamed out in rage. It was from a position of years of pain, neglect, and silent heartbreak. And it altered everything. Christine, Cody's third wife, came into the Brown family with smiles and joy, and faith. She was completely on board about plural marriage. But gradually the love dried up. Cody went distant, his energies laser-trained on Robyn, while Christine quietly disappeared into the shadows. She attempted to repair it. She gave her all, but nothing ever shifted. There are some smiles that are merely disguises we learn to wear too well. I thought if I worked harder, he'd love me again, she confessed in a tearful interview. I thought if I was a better mother, a better wife, he'd come back to me. But he never did. It wasn't anything in particular. It was everything. But the last straw, that was when their daughter Isabel had surgery and Cody wouldn't go. Told her he was too busy, too afraid of COVID, too whatever. But Christine knew better. He just didn't want to be there. That was when it occurred to her. He wasn't her partner. Not anymore. Perhaps he never had been. I felt abandoned, she said. And I began to wonder, why am I still here? If leaving becomes the boldest thing you've ever done, you do it for your children. Leaving wasn't simple. Christine had lived with that family most of her adult life. But with the encouragement of her children and friends, she gathered her belongings, cut ties with Flagstaff, and went back to Utah, prepared to start anew. She never thought she'd see love again so quickly. It was through mutual friends that Christine met David Woolley, a widower with adult children, and a gentle strength to him. David noticed Christine in a way that she had not been noticed in years. From the very first moment, she smiled. It was different. He really listened. He made me feel as though I counted. With David she found joy again. The hand-holding kind, the morning text kind, the minor compliments, the kind Cody never offered her. Fans picked up on the glow. Her Instagram erupted in photos of hikes, laughter, love, and people cheered her on. You deserve this, they wrote. We're so proud of you. Real love doesn't make you shrink. It helps you grow. Later, Christine and Cody were forced to confront one another again, to work out property issues, co-parenting duties. Christine remained calm, until Cody was deliberately insulting. So what? You think you've upgraded? He sneered. You think this guy is better than me? Christine stood there, frozen, and then let go. You want to know what I think? She shook. I hate you. The room went silent. I despise the way you treated me, she went on. I despise that you paid no attention to me, that you made me feel insignificant, that you treated me like nothing. I despise that I spent so much time waiting around for you to love me. Not even the camera crew budged. Cody stood there in dumbstruck silence, his jaw set, but his eyes wide with incredulity. You don't mean that, he muttered. I do, she whispered. Because now I know what love feels like. And it's not you. When the truth is deep, silence is the loudest sound in the room. The family's responses were quick. Janelle, she stood with Christine. She finally told us what we've all been thinking, she said. She was just brave enough to say it out loud. Meri nodded in soft assent. I think she needed to tell her, to herself. Robyn, however, wasn't as gracious. She didn't have to be so cruel, she sniffed. It's one thing to leave, but to tell her that she hates him, that wasn't necessary. And Cody? He attempted to brush it off. She was upset. He informed cameras afterwards. She doesn't hate me, she's just upset. But sources say those words cut deeper than he'll ever acknowledge. He's not used to being told the truth, Janelle remarked. And Christine? She finally gave it to him. The public's reaction was swift and loud. Fans erupted in support of Christine. One viral tweet summed it up best. Christine saying "I hate you" was the most iconic moment in Sister Wives history. We've been waiting years for this. And they weren't kidding. That single sentence turned into a rallying cry. Drama, yes. But it seemed like a long overdue accountability. Even David Woolley, always the gentleman, treated it graciously. He wouldn't say anything negative about Cody, but his endorsement of Christine was vocal and adamant. She's strong, he boasted. She's been through so much and she deserves to be happy. Then, with a soft smile, he went on. She's mine now, and I'm going to make her happy every day. Christine didn't escape. She soared. Following that dramatic moment's airing, Christine confessed to feeling relieved but also drained. It's like a weight's been lifted, she said. I spent so many years pretending everything was fine when it wasn't. Saying those words, I hate him, she said, was the moment she reclaimed her power. And she gave credit where credit was due. David. He reminded me what it feels like to be loved, she said. And once you've felt that, you can't go back to feeling invisible. Ever since, Christine's been going on. She and David travel, spend time with their kids and grandchildren, and share bits of happiness on social media. Her happiness is infectious. Fans can feel it in every smile and every post. Her hurt became her platform, and her platform became her power. Christine now gives talks at women's gatherings. She urges people to leave bad relationships and regain their value. I spent too many years being unhappy, she reminded a rapt crowd at a recent speaking engagement. Don't be like I was. You deserve to be loved, fully and completely. Back in Arizona, life for Cody is very different. He's still with Robyn and her children, but things aren't as rosy as they once appeared. He's angry all the time, a source revealed. Christine's words really got to him. He doesn't like being seen as the bad guy. Even Robyn, formerly impenetrable, is said to be tired of his perpetual irritability and bitterness. Christine's journey isn't a story of a bad marriage. It's a story of finding yourself again. It's a story of resiliency, integrity, and respect for self. She lived for years subordinating her own needs in an effort to hold together a collapsing family. But when she encountered true love, she couldn't settle for less. I hate you wasn't bitterness. It was freedom. That statement soon became one of the most debated in reality TV history. Some did argue that it was too brutal, but overall, everyone else agreed. It was long overdue. And Christine? No apologies. I wanted him to hear it, she explained. I wanted him to know how much pain he caused me, and I wanted to say it for myself. So where are they today? Christine and David, happy, thriving, head over heels in love. She continues to refer to him as her rock and soulmate on social media, and their updates exude peace and partnership. Cody, he's grappling with his persona, trying desperately to cling to what little family he has left surrounding him. The self-assured patriarch now appears more like a man lost in himself, bitter, defensive, and silent than fans recall. Some castles fall silently, and the silence speaks volumes. Janelle and Meri have also been creating new lives for themselves. Cody is no longer looming over them. Both women are concentrating on their independence and self-improvement. And Christine is still uplifting others using her platform. In one recent post on Instagram, She posted a picture of herself and David walking hand in hand. The caption stated, "To all the women who feel invisible, you matter. You are enough. You are worthy of being loved the way you've always imagined. Don't settle. And don't be afraid to speak what's in your heart." Thousands of replies rolled in. Women, most older, many with the same kinds of stories, gratefully thanked her for the bravery, the candor, and the hope she provided. Christine's words rang out far beyond one marriage. They set fire to thousands of others. That single sentence, "I hate you," was not mere personal catharsis. It was a battle cry, a rallying call to every woman who has ever felt invisible, unloved, and overlooked to now stand up and shout, "No more." And just as the dust did finally settle, another storm brewed. In a scene that stunned even longtime Sister Wives fans, Cody turned to the one person he'd defended above all others, Robyn, and said words that no one thought they'd ever hear. "I lost everything because of you, and now I'm bankrupt." The moment was raw, it was shocking, and it marked the climax of years of resentment, missteps, and unraveling relationships. Cody tried to put on a brave face. "I still have Robyn," he told the cameras. "She's my soulmate. We'll figure it out." But behind the scenes, the cracks were already forming. Cody's business ventures were tanking. TLC had reportedly slashed their contract due to declining ratings. And without the financial support of his other wives, Cody and Robyn quickly found themselves sinking fast. Their mortgage on their extravagant Flagstaff estate remained unpaid. Taxes on their Coyote Pass estate accumulated. Creditors started calling. And all along, Robyn continued to spend. "She just doesn't get it," Cody supposedly told a close friend. "Her is still speaking of hiring a chef, renovating the kitchen, purchasing more clothes for the children, as though the money is not gone." Then came the snapping point. A stormy evening in Flagstaff. Cameras caught the flashpoint when Cody snapped. He perched at the kitchen table, his skin gray, his hands shaking as he sorted through piles of pending bills. Robyn entered, bright and unaware. "I was thinking," she said lightly, "maybe we could redecorate the living room. It's beginning to feel a bit old-fashioned." Cody gazed at her in speechless shock. And then, with a burst of anger, he slapped his fist down on the table. "No," he bellowed. "We can't redecorate. We can't do anything. Don't you understand?" Robyn stood stock still, bewildered. "What are you saying?" Cody jumped up red-faced with rage. "I lost everything due to you," he shouted. "The wives are gone. The children barely talk to me anymore. The family is destroyed. And now, I'm broke." At first Robyn nervously giggled, dismissing the outburst. "You're being dramatic," she said. "We're okay. We always make it work." But Cody was not having it. "No, we're not okay," he snarled. "We're broke. Do you have any idea how much we owe? Do you even care?" Robyn's grin disappeared. "Of course I care," she replied softly. "But it's not all my fault." Cody's voice fractured as pent-up anger erupted. "It is your fault," he spat. "You and your stupid mansion. You and your kids' private schools. You and your endless needs. Everything I did, every concession was for you. And see where it got me." For the first time, Cody said it baldly. He'd messed everything up. "I destroyed my marriage with Meri for you," he spat. "I ignored Christine and Janelle for you. I estranged my children for you. And you never felt satisfied. Whatever I did, it was never good enough." Robyn's eyes welled up with tears. "That's not fair," she breathed. "You made those choices." "Yes, I did," Cody confessed. "Because I was blinded by you. I thought you were the future of this family. But you were just a mistake." Those words struck like a punch. Robyn didn't sob for the cameras this time. She dissolved completely. Shaking, deep sobs shook her body. "I didn't ask for this," she wept. "I just wanted to be part of the family. I just wanted you to love me." "I did love you," Cody retorted. "More than anyone else. More than I should have. And you used that love to blow everything apart." By dawn, Cody had vanished. Neighbors would later tell of hearing yelling, doors slamming into the night. The next morning, sources said Cody had packed one small bag and departed the mansion. He took up residence in a small apartment on the outskirts of Flagstaff, leaving Robyn behind, alone, with the children and the stack of unpaid bills. When the video was aired, fans were appalled, but not shocked. "This has been a long time coming," one of the viewers tweeted. Cody finally woke up and realized Robyn wasn't worth what he gave up. Others came to Robyn's defense. "She didn't destroy the family. Kody did, one of the posts read. He made those choices. He just can't deal with the fallout. The other wives weren't mincing words. Christine summarized it best with a shrug. I feel sorry for Robyn. But not that sorry. She knew what she was doing. She knew how much he was sacrificing for her. Janelle had a tempered reaction. I hope they both sorted out. But I'm so glad I moved on when I did. Meri wasn't sugarcoating anything. I don't pity either one of them, she said. They made their bed. Now they can lie in it. And then came the ultimate kick in the teeth. Court documents revealed that Kody and Robyn had officially filed for bankruptcy. All of what Kody had worked for was gone. They owed hundreds of thousands in back taxes, unpaid credit cards, and mortgage debt. The Flagstaff mansion was listed for foreclosure. Even Robyn's jewelry business had shut down, unable to turn a profit. For the first time in his life, Kody Brown, the self-proclaimed patriarch and provider, was financially ruined. Let me know when you're ready for the next chunk, and I'll keep the same tone and formatting. You won't believe how far this family has fallen. A mother speaks out, a daughter breaks her silence, and the man who once held it all together now admits he's lost everything. From Meri's quiet heartbreak to Christine's unforgettable words, and Kody's shocking confession to Robyn. This is the moment Sister Wives fans never saw coming. Grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and watch now. What does the man who built a family do when it disintegrates? Piece by agonizing piece? It didn't come at once. The cracks began small. A forgotten birthday. A slammed door. A silence that became deafening each year. But today, the picture-perfect polygamous existence Kody Brown once showed the world has shattered into something nearly unidentifiable. And at the heart of it all, a mother's silent agony, a daughter's dwindling hope, and a father who's finally paying the price he never anticipated. We've watched this family for over a decade now. Through babies, weddings, breakdowns, and breakthroughs. Many of us even rooted for them in the beginning. But if you've ever found yourself sitting with a hot cup of tea, shaking your head and thinking, something about this doesn't feel right anymore, you're not alone. Because this time, the story isn't just about sister wives. It's about the instant a child lost hope of waiting. It's about the time a mother lost hope he would return. And it's about the unpleasant reality that loving somebody does not always involve them loving you in return. It began with a whisper. Meri Brown, Kody's initial wife, the woman who stood by his side long before there was reality television or moving vans, was once again standing alone, but not in anger. In quiet determination. For years she remained, hoping things would improve. For the sake of her child. But when that child lion looked around and didn't see his father anywhere. No birthdays, no hospital bedsides, not even the other end of a telephone call. Meri had made a decision. To cease waiting, to cease excusing, to speak. And when she did, it shook like an earthquake beneath the entire Brown family. All of a sudden, all the pain that had been pushed under the carpet all these years was impossible to ignore. Have you ever had someone on your back, only to find they never intended to walk alongside you? Meri's voice wavered, but her words were firm. You left us, you left me to single-handedly raise this child. And no matter what you claim now, you weren't there. And here's where it hits home. Because so many of us have experienced what it's like to be present when no one else is. To give up, to keep things together with weary hands. To think, if only we love someone enough, they'll finally show up too. But sometimes, they don't. And that's the heartbreak in the middle of this story. Not a breakup, not a reality TV turn, but one child's unreturned plea for love. And one mother's realization that pretending was no longer acceptable. Christine, meanwhile, sweet, effervescent Christine, who worked so hard at times to bring peace to the family, finally mustered up the strength to utter the words she'd suppressed for years. I hate you, she said to Kody. And if you've witnessed the moment, you know, it wasn't anger. It wasn't drama. It was grief. Years and years of it. What shattered her? Not the cameras, not the fights. It was watching her daughter require surgery, and her husband not want to come. It was understanding the man who had vowed to defend their kids was already gone. And just when you think you've heard it all, Kody turns to Robyn, the girl he declared was his soulmate, and utters the words no one thought he'd ever say. I lost everything because of you. And now, I'm bankrupt. That's the moment right there. The unraveling of a family. The unraveling of a man who thought he could juggle hearts like puzzle pieces. And the quiet unraveling of loyalty, trust, and faith. If your heart's already pounding, if you've ever seen your own story in theirs, hit subscribe right now to Sister Wives Daily Scoop. We're not just watching a show here. We're witnessing real choices, real pain, and hard-earned truths. And we're unpacking it all together. Because this isn't just drama for entertainment. It's a reminder of what happens when love is uneven, of what it costs to be the forgotten wife, and how even the strongest foundations can crumble when one person stops trying. So if you've ever stayed too long, if you've ever fought alone, or if you've ever finally said, enough, this story is for you. Stick with us, because in the next few minutes, we're going to walk through everything. Meri's heartbreaking stand, Lion's powerful words, Christine's emotional release, and Cody's stunning downfall. And when it's all said and done, you'll understand why this moment in Sister Wives history may just be the most important one yet. Let's begin. Sister Wives Robyn's greed brings it all crashing down. The days of luxury may be numbered for Cody and Robyn, as the other wives finally walk away for good. Hello friends, and welcome to Sister Wives Daily Scoop. I hope you're doing well by God's grace. If you haven't already, please take a second to subscribe and tap the bell icon, so you never miss an update. For years the Brown family kept us watching. One man, 4 wives, and a growing group of kids, trying to make plural marriage work in a modern world. But today that dream looks broken. Robyn Brown's greed seems to have finally caught up with her, and the world she built with Cody is falling apart in a big public way. The family's old way of life may be gone for good, and it didn't vanish quietly. This isn't merely the demise of luxury, it's the demise of control, and perhaps even the end of sister wives altogether. So let's dig into how Robyn's drive, her affection for nice things, and some behind-the-scenes maneuvering propelled the family to the breaking point, and why the other wives decided to leave it all behind. The rise of Robyn all the way back in 2010, when Robyn married into the Brown family. Fans greeted her as a new beginning. She was younger than the others, had a gentle, emotional voice, and appeared radiating with grace. For a bit she presented herself as a breath of fresh air. She brought something else as well. Cody's sparkle appeared to return at the same time that his connections with Meri, Janelle, and Christine were reaching turbulent water. She spoke about her troubled past, relating sad tales from her previous marriage, and tearfully thanked the family for being welcomed into this new life. But not everyone believed the tears. Some people close to the Browns claim Robyn was playing a much longer game than anyone ever imagined. One insider described it thus: Robyn always knew what she wanted, and that was Cody, all to herself. And she waited long enough for it. Whether through charm or strategy, she acquired him. It was only a matter of time before Robyn became Cody's obvious favorite. It was all visible to the viewers. The affection, the special stares, the in-jokes. Cody did not even make an effort to conceal how much he loved her. That preferential treatment, the other wives didn't like that. And as the years went by, the resentment only intensified. A taste for the lavish the Brown family lived relatively modestly before Robyn. In Utah their life was uncomplicated. Even after the family relocated to Las Vegas, each wife had her own house, but things remained relatively level. Then came the move to Flagstaff, and everything changed. Robyn and Cody wound up in this ginormous million-dollar mansion. High ceilings, staircases that were dramatic, plenty of space. It was mind-blowing. Meanwhile, the other wives were fighting to find decent housing. That mansion was not only jealous-provoking, it became a symbol of something greater: inequality. Robyn stood up for it, explaining that it was what her children required. Cody supported her, arguing it was for the best for the entire family. But come on, no one was actually believing that. Not the other wives, not the audience, and certainly not the children. That house was a discreet reminder to the rest of the family. Robyn first, and soon cracks in the family began appearing more than ever before. Christine was the first to speak up and say enough. In 2021, she formally dissolved her marriage with Cody. And though the public was gobsmacked, those around her weren't surprised in the least. One of her friends told her she'd been miserable for years, feeling invisible as everything became about Robyn. Sometimes saying goodbye is the only way to be noticed. Christine's courageous decision paved the way for others. Janelle, Cody's second wife and the practical, financially minded one, was next. She'd been holding up the family unit for decades, but couldn't tolerate the lavish lifestyle Cody and Robyn were hanging on to. Even Meri, Cody's first and formerly most devoted wife, eventually gave up trying to keep it all together. After spending years in emotional disconnection and constant heartache, she too chose to leave. As the wives departed one by one, the Brown family that we had all come to know dissolved, and in its wake, financial ruin. The mansion once used to symbolize prestige became a burden no one could handle, and with only Robyn still left, the lavish life in Flagstaff quickly came apart. No longer buoyed by the shared income of 4 households, Cody and Robyn flailed in the face of mounting costs. Reports began to circulate that the mansion was in foreclosure. The proud patriarch who had assured them that he could certainly provide for everyone, was now selling personal items, furniture, jewelry, even mementos, just to make ends. Robyn, desperate still to keep it together, allegedly urged Cody to pursue new business ventures, and even considered selling family secrets to the tabloids. Still, nothing caught on. The sympathy she enjoyed online turned into criticism and blame instead. "You broke your own family," one supporter wrote. "Hope the mansion was worth it. What happens when you finally get what you wanted, but lose everything that mattered?" Robyn's plan from the beginning was to win Cody's complete attention, break him away from the other wives, and ensure that her children were a priority. But once she had accomplished that, she found something terrible. Cody had changed. Without the love and harmony the other wives provided, he grew bitter. He took out his frustration on Robyn. The man who used to love her now fought with her all the time. Witnesses recall Robyn, who had been so self-assured in her position, to have cried in public more than once. The female who had been the most powerful person in the family was now at the bottom, all by herself. The children speak. Perhaps the saddest aspect of this breakdown has been seeing how it impacted the children. Several of the children of Cody's marriages to Meri, Janelle and Christine have spoken out, subtly but forcefully. One son was quoted as saying, "It was always about Robyn's kids, always." Another daughter chimed in, "My mom gave everything to this family, and at the end of the day she was discarded." Favoritism wounds do more than hurt the wives. Its voice carries over into the next generation. Even Robyn's kids, who had previously basked in their special status, seemed to sense the change. As the rest of the family distanced itself, their universe shrunk too. The public turns at the height of the show's popularity. Robyn had her defenders. Many fans saw her as the new wife, trying to find her place in a complicated situation. But slowly public opinion changed. Viewers noticed how often she cried, how often she claimed to be misunderstood, and how often she subtly shifted blame onto others. They saw the money too, the house, the decor, the manner in which family resources apparently supported her desires. By the time all the other wives were eliminated, the audience had already decided Robyn was no longer the victim. In the court of public opinion, silence and tears cannot conceal years of disproportion. And then came the breaking point. It was only when Cody saw how far things had fallen, sources said, that he finally lost it. Without the income and financial backing of the other wives, the house payment became unaffordable. Business enterprises had tanked. TLC allegedly reduced the family members' compensation as ratings fell. In an angry confrontation, Cody allegedly leaned on Robyn and bellowed, "You wanted this. You wanted me all to yourself. And now look what's left." Robyn, crying, explained that she was only trying to defend her children. But by then the damage was already done. Where are they now? Christine returned to Utah and rebuilt. She met new love, remarried, and is flourishing on a personal and professional level. She remains close with her children, and frequently posts inspirational quotes online. Janelle has turned her attention to wellness and self-sufficiency. She started her own wellness company, and spends time with her grandchildren. Every now and then, she'll chime in on family issues, but otherwise, she appears happy to be gone. Meri, ever the private observer, is now completely embracing being single. She's traveling, operating her bed and breakfast, and appears more secure than ever. Oftentimes, the greatest power is when you opt for peace, rather than proving a point. And then there's Kody and Robyn. What was once the self-absorbed center of the Brown family now resides in a smaller house, grappling to adapt to a life without wealth, fame, or adoration. The marriage is said to be strained, filled with constant fighting and financial woes. The Brown saga has never been simply cautionary story or emotional melodrama. Robyn's greed might have been what finally led to the breakdown, but the underlying problems began years before she ever showed up. Favoritism, promises broken, unchecked ambition. Each of them eroded the sense of what the Browns were originally supposed to be. The end result is the mansion standing vacant, a silent testament to all that went so terribly wrong. Christine once stated, "I don't dislike Robyn. I don't even dislike Kody. But I loved myself enough to walk away." You can't raise a family on favoritism and lies. The truth always reveals itself. And when it does, the sparkle wears off. What remains is what is real. Lion, a mother's decade-long battle for justice. Sister Wives fans have witnessed their fair share of family drama, tears, breakups, uncomfortable silences. But nothing has landed quite as hard as this. Meri Brown, Kody's first wife, has spoken out with devastating claims. She alleges Kody has spent a decade ignoring their sole child, Leon. And this time she's not being silent. Meri, the very same woman who once stood silently in Kody's shadow, who took 3 other wives into her home out of faithfulness and devotion, is now telling her truth. And what she's telling isn't simply difficult. It's heartbreaking. When a gentle heart finally speaks, the world listens. In a tearful, emotional interview, Meri spoke about what it was like to see Kody leave. Not just her, but their daughter. She claims he left them emotionally, financially, and physically. And while cameras captured a photo-perfect family, the truth was far from that in private.